Some of my subscribers probably clicked on this video and were like, oh my god, Dan, where's your bonnet? And it's because today's video is about to get a little personal, you know, so it's just, I'm in my rant mode today, so I have to put the kids to sleep, and I'm finna really lock in here, because like I said, I'm about to rant. Every piece of media has a character that the fan base loves to shit on, whether it be a character like Sakura, Scrappy-Doo, and rightfully so, Mineta. These are characters that are usually the butt end of a lot of jokes in the fandom. And with Ben 10's big cast of characters, and especially the aliens, Ben 10 is also no stranger to having its own little scapegoat to shit on. Now the title of this video obviously gives away who Ben 10's main culprit is, but even without the title, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out who the hell I'm referring to, as I'm sure you, lovely viewer watching this, has partaken in some of the slander and just the outright frying the fuck out of this character. And that is, of course, obviously Fasttrack. Fasttrack has been one of Ben 10's most scrutinized aliens ever since his debut. And that slander has only increased as of late. I myself have witnessed this slander firsthand, as I have been called the dirty Fasttrack lover during this recent hate surge, as I've stood up for Fasttrack. And yes, he has his problems. I do think he is still kind of cool. I like his design, as he sports a nice black and blue color scheme, along with some quill-sized spikes on his head, feet, and hands. And like, to be honest, he does have like one, maybe two cool scenes. I just think he looks cool. I just think he looks fucking cool. Is that so wrong? The reason I'm making this video is I want to take a deep dive look into Fasttrack and kind of figure out why he's become one of Ben's most hated aliens as of recently, and just of all time. And maybe even try to figure out if there is some praise in there that we can throw for Fasttrack. Like I said, I kind of like Fasttrack, but you know, to be honest with y'all, there's not really a lot of praise. There's not really a lot. Fasttrack made his debut in the 3rd season of Ultimate Alien in the episode Basic Training. He's part of Ben's second lineup of aliens that consists of Clockwork, Chameleon, Ito, and Jerry Rig, as he was claimed to be unlocked off screen, and by off screen they mean that Ben unlocked him so he could just promote his shitty ass racing game that came out in 2011. And by the way, I'm not joking about that either. Fasttrack was basically made to promote the Ben 10 game Galactic Racing, released in 2011, in hopes to dethrone that fat red motherfucker over at Nintendo for best racing game. And surprisingly, it didn't work. A bunch of info was released about Fasttrack in this game's press release, proving that his purpose was to indeed advertise this game. As we learn Fasttrack's name, species, and planet. And what makes all this funnier is that besides his name, you never hear anything about his species or his planet in the actual fucking show. Fasttrack is a Citricaire from the planet Chali base, and to be honest with y'all, I have no idea how to pronounce those, so let's just pray I said them right. He's a humanoid cat-like alien with super speed abilities. And like I said before, I really dig his design. Yeah, it's basic, but something about it just works for me. I also kind of like the Omniverse design that Derek J. Wyatt made, even though he's just the fucking Chester the Cheetos mascot. He even fucking like drew him as it. Like you can just see he's just the Cheetos guy. Now, after telling you that Fasttrack was basically made to just be a glorified advertisement for a shitty racing game, will probably make you understand why a lot of people would dislike this character, as an alien designed to market a shitty kart racer would definitely annoy some people. But while that is a problem, and that is one of his problems, there's a bigger one that lies in this whole situation, and it has to do with you. Accelerate is one of the franchise's most beloved and most popular aliens. He shows up in the very first episode of Classic and appears constantly throughout that series and just gets better in every single appearance. He really stands out in Classic as one of their best aliens. Now, we all know that Alien Force gave us a whole new slate of 10, meaning we didn't get to see Accelerate at all in Alien Force. But when Ultimate Alien came around with their big intro teasing the return of a lot of old aliens, me and I'm sure some other people had a lot of hype, only for it to be killed because, you know, that whole intro was a goddamn lie. Now, it wasn't a complete lie, however, as some classic aliens did show up in Ultimate Alien. Aliens like Heat Blast, Wildma, Ghost Freak, even Ripjaws all appeared. And it was looking like we would have a chance to see Accelerate return too. But, you know, we didn't. Not at all. Not even close. Accelerate has a total of 4 appearances in the Ultimate Alien era. And that's his intro, his hologram behind Ben 10K, and a quick scene in the Heroes United crossover, but that's really a Generator Rex episode, so I don't think that really counts. The lack of Accelerate really made people upset, as he's one of the fan favorites within the community. And with the lack of Accelerate and the recent rise in Fasttrack appearances, it made it seem like the show was trying to push him as a replacement for Accelerate, which is incredibly stupid and is the main reason why he gets a lot of hate today. And it doesn't make it any better that in every single appearance that Fasttrack basically has, he fucking fumbles every single one of them. Fasttrack throughout Ultimate Alien practically does nothing but be a complete dumbass. He fails and gets his ass kicked in almost all of his appearances, and even Kevin realizes it.
Nah, it's good. He loses way faster than Accelerate.
Fasttrack gets clotheslined by Sir George in embarrassing fashion. He was too slow to catch up to Dark Star, and he fails to stop a rocket and make himself look worse by not being able to slow down and crashes through a fucking gate and falls on his ass.
That was really bad.
All this coupled with how cool we know Accelerate is had him looking far inferior. Making fun of Fasttrack is almost as easy as shitting on a Sonyverse movie, my nigga. The only thing Fasttrack has to justify him being used over Accelerate is that he's apparently physically stronger than Accelerate, but the show does not showcase that at all in any real scene. The only time you'll really see this strength thing come up is when Ben knocked out a bunch of esoteric. And I know that Fasttrack doesn't have the best highlight reel. In fact, he might not even have a highlight reel to begin with. I still think he deserves a spot in the Omnitrix regardless of what all the hating I just say. You know, I did get on his ass a little bit. But the main reason people seem to have a problem with Fasttrack is just because he has super speed similar to Accelerate. And while he does not display the best use of that super speed, and Accelerate is definitely way better than Fasttrack. I'm not here to defend that. I obviously think that Accelerate is better than Fasttrack. I'm just here to say that Ben already has a bunch of aliens in the Omnitrix that share the same power that nobody else seems to really have a problem with. Ben has a total of 7 electric aliens, along with the numerous aliens that we know can fly, and are also just good at punching shit really hard. But you don't hear people calling for Buzzshot's neck in favor to defend Feedback. But I'm not going to sit here and play stupid either, as the reason people don't do that is quite simple. It's literally just because they're all different from each other. Feedback is an electric alien, yes, but he absorbs energy and makes it his own, making him different from other aliens like Frankenstrike and Shock Squatch. Big Chill uses ice and can go intangible, making him different from flyers like Stingfly, Jetray, and Astrodactyl. The problem with Fasttrack lies in the fact that he just doesn't do anything different from Accelerate. Matt Wayne, a writer for Benton, said that Fasttrack may be physically stronger than Accelerate. So I just wish they maybe went through with that and showed it. Maybe put him in more combat situations and actually let him do something instead of getting hit with a fucking WWE clothesline. Or maybe you can just give him an ability that works best in combat. Maybe like how Black Panther can absorb kinetic energy and release it. Maybe let Fasttrack do something like that to help set him apart from Accelerate. Like I said, Fasttrack has his issue, don't get me wrong, but him sharing the same ability as Accelerate I think is just not one of them, as Benton is a world that is stated to have millions of aliens and there is millions of alien DNA in the Omnitrix. It's hard to believe that some aliens will not share the same ability, as we see that some of them do. A lot of them have the same abilities. Even in the real world, there are hella humans out here that share the same abilities, but what sets us all apart is just that we use those abilities differently and showcase them differently. There are many NBA players who are good at shooting the basketball, many artists in the same genre who both make good music, many games in the same genre that are both good on their own right, even many great YouTubers that talk about the same topics but find a way to talk about them differently, making them interesting.
I think the honest to God most simple way of giving Fasttrack actual purpose is to make Accelerate the speed alien Ben uses to get around places, whereas Fasttrack is a speed alien Ben uses to overwhelm opponents in combat. This is far from the first time Ben has had more than one alien with generally the same powers. But the reason why no one complains about Frankenstrike in comparison to Buzzshock or Big Chill in comparison to Ghost Freak is because they still retain a unique identity. We might have seen a Fasttrack with more of his own aura had Omniverse gone with the designs that DJW conjured up later on. Fasttrack honestly felt like they didn't give a enough about Accelerate to put him in the show, so they made an alien that is basically just Accelerate but with the swag meter turned very slightly down.
But Fasttrack has better feats.
We do not care.
Like I said, Fasttrack definitely deserves his place in the Omnitrix. He's an alien that I think can definitely work in Ben 10. He could have worked in the Ultimate Alien if they just made the effort and took the time to make him look cool and add stuff to his character, instead of letting him die alongside the terrible racing game that they made him for and leaving all that potential untapped and for us to never to see. And it's also why in my comic video I said maybe someone like him can come back and breathe new life into his character, but I don't know, with the way you guys talk about him, they're probably just gonna kill him off, you know, Feedback style, that nigga, never see him again. But hey, if you're a fellow Fasttrack enjoyer like myself, wear that with pride, man. Don't let anybody try to tell you differently. Like I said, I enjoy most of what we got from Fasttrack and Ultimate Alien, as I just really rock with his design. I don't know, it just makes some screws up here go round and round, and it just makes me like it. But like I said as well, stop the Fasttrack hate, man. Hashtag stop the Fasttrack hate. If you made it this far into the video, comment it down below. Hashtag stop the Fasttrack hate, man. He's had enough. He's had enough. Let me know down in the comment below how you feel about Fasttrack. If you're somebody who doesn't like him, what do you think they could have done to fix him? Please make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe. I'm on the road to 4K, 10K by the end of the year. By the way, we trying to be Dan 10K, you feel me? And once again, Tornado Zone. It's been Dan, the Boy Wonder, signing out. Peace.